Don't know where I begin or where you end. You feel like it in my lungs. Oh, now what have I done to make you real? Lately, I've been falling deeper for you. It's like I'm learning how to love again. Daylight just seems so much brighter with you. Feels like I'm learning how to love again. To love again. You light up all of my bones. Harmonize my tones. You make me feel. You feed my body and soul. Make my energy flow. You make me real. Lately, I've been falling deeper for you. It's like I'm learning how to love again. Just seems so much brighter with you.
What's up, guys? Happy Monday. Let's do it. All right. Boom. All right, cool. We're live. So it's been a very, very volatile crypto. The last few days since Friday, we saw huge movement as well across the board on indices. On Thursday and Friday, we saw this thing just absolutely ripping. After the market had mitigated some of our key levels last week, this thing went just gone, just absolutely gone. I know some of the London session traders snuck into the Dow buy here and just let it rip. So good stuff. We'll go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and go over quite a few things today. But before we get kicked off here, officially, let me go ahead and pull up kind of what we can expect for the week. And then before we even do all of this, I just want to kind of get everyone's state of mind in the right place. Some friendly reminders before you guys go crazy in here. Let me say what up to everybody. ¿Cómo están, chicos? Moving Wicks, what's good, fam? Edwin, what up, my G? Patrick, hello. Corey, Ramiro, Isaiah, what's good, Corey? Harshi, hello. Salvador, buenos dias. What up, Adam? Vaughn, Friso, hello. Got DeAndre, Amy, Stefania, Seth, what's good? Happy Monday, brother. Hello, Nora. Morning, Tradetopia. Nas buys anyone. Are you already in that, Omar? Are you waiting for a setup? What's up, Ma? Tio? Joe, what's good, cuz? Dímelo, Hector. Just Rendon. What's up? Zoe here. What's good? Mateo. Hello, Lindsay. All right, guys. Yeah, let's dive into it. Buenos dias desde España. All right. So I have this in front of you. I know it's it's really important, and this is probably just going to go understated forever, and that's fine, I guess. But yeah, it's just really important to remember how certain ways of thinking is going to influence how you trade. It's going to influence not how you trade all of the time, but it's going to influence when it matters the most. And that's what we want to be mindful of. Affirming, saying, I'm a profitable trader and I'm disciplined. That doesn't necessarily make you better, but it's kind of just it's reminding yourself what matters and just getting it stuck into your brain so that it is the default way of how you just see the world, how you see yourself. That's what matters more. So it's not so much that if you just say it once in the morning, like, oh, now you're this almighty trader. It's just that you got to remind yourself of this shit that matters. So, one, guys, today doesn't have to be the day that you change your life, but it does have to be the day where you keep cementing in your identity as a trader. All right? It's really important to remember that the key thing about everything you do here is how well you're executing your game. So, trade, master the next trade. That's it. The next trade needs to be flawless. Not in what outcomes you get, but in just how you go about it. So let's lock that in. And let's get to work. Okay, so now with that being said, and if you want your own manifesto here, where you kind of build your own structure your own routine, your own mindset from in the morning. This is available in the classroom, in the Traders Launchpad. So make sure you're in there. All right. So what else we got? What do we got going on this week? This week we have, here we go. Today, no high impact news. So pretty mellow day. We have seen new conversations happening. For example, Friday was extremely, extremely impactful. The Jackson Hole Symposium, Powell speaking, all of this it just led to more and more volatility. So we could see an aftermath on that as well. From there, tomorrow we have CAD news, just mellow. It is red folder news, but nothing crazy. Big one is CPI. All right. CPI. That's the one. So if you're an Asian session trader and you want some action, here it is for you. Otherwise, don't even trip. Wednesday, no impact news whatsoever. Thursday, this should be decent because we have prelim GDP and unemployment claims. So back-to-back sessions or back-to-back news event like this should make the pre-New York Open pretty fun. And then Friday, again, core PCE, similar. So as you can see, this is a slow week. Like, this is not your typical crazy week. However, it's slow week on paper. It doesn't mean Trump can't say anything. It doesn't mean that we can't see we can't have any surprise volatility. So it's going to be a good one either way. We have New York Open every day, so there will still be volatility. We have we may or may not correct this imbalance from last week if you're looking at Dow or if you're looking at NASDAQ. So there's still room for more volatility. The question just becomes, is your trade, evident right now? And after you see weeks like this, like for example, we have New York Open in 3 minutes. So after you see mega movement like this, what's the typical state of mind for most traders? They go, okay, well, the market maybe has to correct, so let me try to catch the top and get the reversal. So NVIDIA earnings, yeah, that's another good one that's really important, is you do have earnings as well. Potential rate cut was for Friday. What do you mean? Potential rate cut was for Friday. For Jackson Hole Symposium? Is that what you're saying? Like why this happened? So, oh yeah. Well, yeah. That's why Powell was speaking. And remember, a lot of times, because it's always speculation, right? So it's anticipation is the excuse for a lot of volatility, and the actual news event itself isn't always what sets the tone. You have, for example, money coming in before or after these high impact news events. So something like Dow or like this, for example, specifically the interest rates being cut. Obviously, we already saw pretty big positioning already happening from there. But with that being said, right now, if we look at how Dow's been moving and Nasdaq's been moving, I mean they're pretty similar. It's been a slow trend to the downside, very, very, very slowly relative to how it moved up. So what do you do here? How do you trade from a bearish trending market here? Are there key positions to take from this? So when I see this, I'm not interested. I'm not really too interested in honestly trading any of this. For example, we had liquidity build up on Friday. Once we made these highs, we just kind of started moving sideways. So you had tons of sideways movement here. Here was, New York high. You see a little bit of a push to the upside, a small imbalance, but everything else has been relatively sideways. More and more liquidity. And then you have, London high. The market keeps moving. So now we're seeing New York Open happen right now. So Dow, I don't really see us doing too much. I don't really see myself executing any trades until maybe later today if we were to have more information. So either we maybe clear some of this liquidity, taking out previous session highs, whether it's London and Tokyo, at least. Maybe we even end up taking this out here. Same thing as we look at NASDAQ. NQ here starting to push above. You have liquidity still here with Asian session. So something like this. You could see market sweep this here. You have the trend line liquidity that's building up. And from here, this is where maybe we see a short from here. So so yesterday, right? We see the market gap up and then drop. Market builds up a little bit. We get one sweep to the upside before the market keeps making its move to the downside. See a correction, create liquidity, and then continues to the downside. So this actually might be a place for a short right there. But we may not even need to get up to here based on what's happening now. So let's go here. Check this out, guys. Let's go side by side. This is our basically our typical side by side setup with indices. This makes life a little easier. All right. So off the rip, we get NASDAQ to pump just a minute before or right on New York Open. So we see this here, right? We take out the highs. So there's the formation, the beginning of a selling opportunity here. For me, it's not confirmed yet. I'm not going to sell this unless I see demand start to build up down here. So just because we spiked up and came crashing down, this doesn't mean bearish structure yet. By no means are we bearish yet. A move down like this just cleared liquidity. It's not saying like, oh yeah, we're trending to the downside now. So if we continue to push down and we stay trading down here, then sure. Now we would have something like that. So you see how that's what we're seeing right now? Looks like it could do that. If we get more of this, then I'm definitely game. So let's, where is this thing? All right, here we go. So yeah, basically what we're seeing now, want to see the market stay trading down here. And then if we can see something like this, for sure, the shorts, I'm with it. But I would need more. I need more data first. Dow, on the other hand, looking different, right? Not dropping, creating lower lows or anything like that. It actually started pushing up higher first. So it's starting to break through this bearish trend line first. All right. Cracking through this. Not even taking out London highs yet or anything, or Tokyo highs. So let's see how this unfolds. And then if we zoom out a little bit on how NASDAQ is printing right now, it's just working its way down into the imbalances. So here, just looking at the 1 minute, there's tons of imbalance here. And that's what I'm curious about, seeing how this sticks around. Because for all we know, NASDAQ right now may have just pushed below for the sake of liquidating retail buys, luring in sellers, and then this may just turn into another reaccumulation. So even looking at the way Dow is starting to, and look at how differently these are trading. This is definitely my least favorite price action, when indices are moving in opposite directions from one another, because there's just no clarity. So would I take any trades right now? No, I wouldn't. Personally, that's obviously, I'm literally speaking for myself, because we don't have confirmation on direction. Yes, the market goes higher, but then we don't stay up here by any means. This, more than anything, takes out sellers and then crashes down. Okay. Now that it's moving down to here, yes, here's where the market spiked down, but it doesn't really even liquidate any positions either. It just kind of stacks more buys down here too. So this is also not giving me too much clarity. And I'm okay with missing out on any initial move with New York Open, like just not being in something and then getting enough information to make just black and white decisions. And I think that's a cost that a lot of people don't really commit to, which is, what are you willing to miss out on? And are you even missing out on something if you were never meant to actually be in it? So yeah, in this example, I'm at peace with that. And we already saw ourselves, like we see how the market here took out the lows. So we already took out London lows. And it's starting to look like this could become either, especially because we already took out the lows of London session here. And this either, if we get higher highs first, then this can become mitigation. Or if we stay moving sideways here, then this could become a shakeout setup. So just like that, everything changed. Entonces, chicos, por los que aquí me están escuchando, originalmente quería ver si teníamos confirmación de tendencia bajista para poder vender Nasdaq. No sucedió eso. Cuando cae el mercado no nos hace demanda, entonces solo saca liquidez. Entonces puede ser que esto realmente se convierte en una tendencia alcista en vez de una tendencia bajista. Y esta caída, muchos considerarían esto como bajos más bajos, pero en realidad creo que es una captura de liquidez y pues se va a convertir en algo alcista. So, let's see what's good. Now, so yeah, my bias here, just by seeing the lack of demand at these levels, there's really two scenarios. So either we could see a shakeout or a mitigation. So market could kind of move sideways here and then build up, retail sellers in, drop down, and then we rally. So that's one option, option A. And they're just, it's option one. Not even that one is more or less like the other one. Or we see the higher high option where it cracks above, stays moving sideways, and then we were to see a pullback like this. So it's kind of one or the other that we're looking like possibilities over here. So you have this one. It looks like it's going to crack above. And if that's the case, then we want to see sideways. We want to see structure. So you want to see demand like this. Doesn't seem like it's going to stay within the zone. And then meanwhile, Dow is kind of just there. And if we want if we want to get more perspective, we can take a look at S&P, ES. And ES actually was kind of decent, I guess. Took the high here briefly, came right back down. This actually looks a little bit more like equal lows anyways, and then came up again. So it doesn't give too much context. Let's see how this will continue. And then what I want to bring up right now as well is actually let's take a look at these crypto charts, because if you're not familiar, Bitcoin and ETH, they honestly give a pretty decent take on the markets. So, okay. So, all right, here we go. So we do end up getting a mitigation. We end up seeing the close of the pump up here, and with NASDAQ. This is not a qualified sell for me, so I feel I'm very indifferent to whatever's happening here on NASDAQ. I really don't have it wasn't a setup for me to take because we didn't get too much confirmation. Market goes down for like 2 minutes, comes right back up, and the pump, smart money buy here that took out this liquidity, that's there. And so yeah, you're seeing the short here. So maybe if you would have taken this sell somewhere in the zone, you would be maybe like 1.5 R or something, maybe 2 R if you really sniped it. If you did decide to be in a short here, because that's just, for you, maybe you don't need demand in your whatever, I would at least protect your entry here. So this is not something that I took. It did not qualify for me anymore. But I would say if you did, let's say they followed your plan, I would make sure I'm managing my stop well. And I'd be on top of that. What's up, Houston? Hello, Haiti. Okay, so what next? So there's still a couple options, right? If we kind of just chop up in the zone for a while, we might still have a buying opportunity. If this crashes right away, I'm not looking to take anything here. I'm gonna just sit back and stay out of it. Yeah. Now again, look, right now you might be thinking, oh no, like I had to sell, I should have taken it, blah 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 blah. You're rationalizing FOMO, whatever, all the bullshit. It's one idea that you weren't even fully sold on. So not really the point. Same thing here with Dow, for example. And here you see after New York Open, it spiked down, goes up. It's moving sideways for like 4 minutes, spikes right back down here when Nas and Dow are moving, indifferent, like they're moving opposites to one another. So it gets down to this level. This high here for me was not by anywhere giving me too much evidence that it was bullish. So taking the buy here, even though I mentioned the same thing, I was like, hey, yeah, we could see a buy here, but I just don't have enough structure to really go with it. Could have taken it, didn't. All right, this trade maybe would have been about a 2R right now. But one of the greatest skills is detachment. And the what if trades, they're not my type of trades. So at least in my career right now, like I see a lot of possibility often in the markets, but that's not what I'm trading. And I believe that you want to just build case studies and trade what has high probability for you. What you know you have a certain win rate with, certain risk reward with, and certain probability with. And that's going to position you to have the most advantage. Otherwise, you can convince yourself that you're seeing a trade at any moment, any given time, all the time, everywhere. So for me, yeah, I don't really have any business trading any of these yet. So we saw the market spike down. We came up here, right? So NASDAQ now started moving sideways for a few minutes since, 36. So about 8-9 minutes we've been moving, side to side over here. The issue I have with buying NASDAQ again down here, and this is what makes this a little bit more complex, is that now Dow is trading way up here. And now they keep moving in opposite directions. Like Dow goes up and Q goes down. So is there a chance that NASDAQ buys out of this zone? Maybe. It's not terrible. But I don't like the fact that NQ is down here in its range and Dow is up here. Specifically when there's all of this imbalance here. So what has more incentive? NASDAQ to fill the rest of this imbalance and to trade out of these lows, or for it to bounce out of this low and then run now? Since now, look at this, like now they're both kind of starting to work their way down at the same time. So this is where your impulses will typically want to come to light. Where you're like, oh, I just missed out on a trade, maybe even two. Should I take it? Should I just say, fuck it, just take it, just buy? And just like that, look at that. So literally every single one that I've said no to has, and one in some way or another, right, given us momentum. And I would say the days that I make the least decisions on are days where Dow and NQ are moving the way that they're moving. This minute candle, really bullish. This bearish candle, this Dow candle, really bearish. And they're just flip-flopping back and forth. So these, for me, I hate this type of price action because they go back and forth so much. When they're inverted like this, these are the days where if you do happen to take entries, take your exits basically just as fast as you got in. Because like let's say, for example, you had taken a buy on Dow. cool, you were up, but now you're not. You know what I mean? So you want to make quick decision making, get on the same page. Right now, no trades for me whatsoever. We had Dow build up more liquidity. It still has London lows to take out, so I'm not trading Dow, as I've already said. And then NASDAQ, it's just back and forth with this. So this was starting to look like a shakeout when it swept the low, started moving sideways. Because of how Dow was moving and where price was, I wasn't fully confident on executing a buy over here. So, I'm patient right now on any trades. I think Dow can clear liquidity still, kind of get below this, maybe get below these London lows. Based on where Dow Jones is, if it does clear these lows, then maybe we could consider still a bias on NASDAQ. But right now, look at this. Dow is crashing. We've seen it just drop about 100 points. Let's see, it dropped 90 points. And then NASDAQ just chilling. Exactly, Corey. They might play out, but I feel like it's just chance, and that's why I'm not in it. Agreed. And it takes it. Your mind is shifting from just, all right, let me make some money. Let me maybe I'll get lucky. But once you have enough evidence with certain setups and certain like specific confirmations, then like, all right, cool. Actually, I don't need luck on my side. I just need to do the right thing. Too much noise, exactly. I don't like what I see. There you go. And depending on where you're at in your journey, you have this feeling like, oh, let me take something. Let me get in there. But that wasn't the case. Now, had I not focused on Dow at all, I would have taken a buy on NQ. If it was just independently, we swept the low, we build out, we were moving sideways, luring in sellers, typical break and retest. And then once it dipped down to here, we would have had a pretty decent entry. And even now, right, we saw the market dip below and then come right back up. If we see Dow clear these lows and NASDAQ does a good job of staying inside of the range, maybe playing into this order block, then I might still take a position on longs. But I want to see how we continue to trade now. So like, let's say we have more sideways movement on NASDAQ, and while this is moving sideways, we were to see this go lower. So let's say if this were to just stay within the structure, then I could be open to it. Oh, that's sick. So, okay, new update on Top Step as well. You can now set your separate settings, like risk settings, for your leader account and your follower account. With this, in my opinion, is really, really, really powerful. So what that means is, let's say you have a leader account and you have your follower account, right? Then when you take a trade on one, you can decide, okay, well, on this one, I want my daily target or my daily loss to be this amount. But on my other account, I want it to be like this. So you have way more control over how it's going down. I think that's pretty sweet. Now, I think the next level for that, at least would be, for example, like if I could, and this you can do on some copy traders. I know with like Traders Connect, you can control how much risk. Like if you take a position on one account, it could do half risk on a different account, or it can do a certain proportion to it. So yeah, I would love to have that level of control with risk and how it copies it over. Because then you just have, you have a lot more control. Okay, so we got. For me, this looks like this. It looks like Dow is building up a lot of retail buys right here still, even though like it's pushed lower. This to me still looks like it can come down one more time. So still out of the markets here, but let's go look at a couple other things. Bitcoin just pushed down, cleared New York lows, and then everything else to go higher. But in reality, ETH is what has more. Is leading the movement right now. Like right now, it's not Bitcoin that's in control price action wise. It's ETH. So when we look at ETH took out the lows during London. And then, I don't know why it says this is the London low when it's actually like right here. But whatever. And then now we just pushed down. But we kind of just pushed down into this imbalance. I'd say we still have more to drop with ETH. So I'm not convinced we've gone as low as we need to. And I'm bringing this up because these all come together. These all align. So big crypto and indices, they all end up basically all the pieces start lining up for it all to work out. So I still think we have a little bit more to take a look at. Now let's look at some metals before we look at majors. So gold here has been just moving sideways all this time since last week. So really similar price action to indices. And we have this sweep of the low from last week that we can play out of. So if we are still looking at this, same thing with silver, and these happen basically at the same time. So I think we can go side by side here. Get a nice gold and silver chart side by side. See which one plays out. Right now, gold definitely more bullish. It's already trading towards the highs from London session, looking to go towards Tokyo highs as well. I don't have any shorts on metals. Nothing for me here yet. Just sideways movement. Silver pushing down a bit more aggressively. Coming up now. Silver here. Went and made lower lows. So we traded below the previous low for about an hour. It did start to aggressively work its way up again right now. So we might see a rejection out of silver since here we're moving sideways. Takes the highs, comes right back down. Here you have the order blocks and then drops again. So here's where the market stalls. Remember, none of this exists yet, so people kind of want to get into buys here, then it drops. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we see a short out of here for silver. What I don't love about this is how our price action played out. So we were trading below, but then we just aggressively came right back up. And it's easier to see when we zoom out a little bit more. But you can see how price here is leaving these wicks. So it's not too much demand down here. It comes down, comes right back up. We come back down, come right back up. So not a ton of demand. So I would rather not sell here. And as we compare this, I feel very much I would way rather just wait for a buy setup. Because these are like pretty textbook. Sweeps the lows Friday, especially with that news event. Boom, down, way back up. Silver played out of the zone here. Off it went. So this one mitigated. Exact same timing. And then off it went. So we'll see which one gets down to this level. And then we'll take our positions around here. So either gold or silver with opportunities later on. Maybe this week, maybe next week. So here is gold and silver. All right. I see. All right, you guys have some posts. I'll take a look at your charts too. I'll take a look at them right now. So 25th. Wow. All right. So we got gold and silver. Okay. All right, I'll keep adding to this, but now we got that right there. And also, guys, if you didn't see my post here from a couple days ago, just to give another reminder, in our community here, everything we have here is for free. So, like, all these live sessions, like, you get, like, our free shit is better than people's paid shit. And you get to learn the Trader's Launchpad from zero. You have a smart money playbook, which is how to build a system, how to understand smart money. You have the entire PDF for free. You have the vault, which is filled with trading psychology videos, which I'll go ahead and I'm going to be unlocking a new batch of them as well this week. So you have just tons of value in here. But unfortunately, we have tons of people that, just suck. And they join the community just to, they'll make impersonating accounts. They'll start DMing people, get them to, do whatever bullshit. So I'm never going to ask for your phone number. I'm never going to ask for you to make some, account with some random ass broker. You're not really going to see that from me. So if you do get a DM from me, you can just literally click on the DM and click on the profile. And then you'll see if I'm the creator of the group or not. Or just go to my post. So you just see a post here. So here, oh, look at that. Mike made a post. And then just click on that. And then you'll be able to chat. Click on the chat. And then you'll see. Like, oh, yeah, it's the same thread. Or not. So, all right. So just so you guys know, a lot of you recommended I make the free group just a small fee, like Roger here and some of the people that DM me too. I don't want to charge anything for this group. Like our mission is for you guys to make your next 5,000 for free trading here. That's our mission. Like we really want you guys to have no excuse. If you have no experience, you have some experience, you can get everything you need. Have a place of accountability, have a place like these streams to do it. If we charge something, then I understand some people are one, it's going to eliminate all these scammers because they're not going to pay to potentially scam. They're not going to. But I just want no excuses that people have a place to get this down or a place to find out, is this for me or not? Am I willing to endure trading? Am I willing to go through all this or not? And I know it's not for some people, or I think it's for everyone. It will make you a better person. It'll give you so many skills and so many values. But not everyone wants to endure it. And so, cool. That's fine. So, yeah, anyways, don't want to charge for the group, even though, obviously, we could. But we're figuring out other ways to kind of eliminate more and more. School itself has a decent job of like kicking people out. And so we'll keep working on it. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. But if you guys see any weird messages, if you get DMs just send them our way to me or any of the admins, and then we'll go ahead and report and ban everybody. Okay. So all of that aside now, we're noticing. So man, the NQ buy would have been nice, right? Had Dow not been giving weird price action, I would have felt pretty good about taking it. But now we're seeing Dow Jones starting to clear a lot of these lows. We're about to take out the London low over here. Perfect. So look at how Dow is pushing down and NQ is holding up. So with the way the market's setting up now, I'm more and more intrigued in selling or in buying NQ, depending on how long this takes. But I still think we could have a buy opportunity with NASDAQ. We're seeing it crash, right? Trade lower and lower here. Meanwhile, we have NQ doing its thing. So if these kind of get back on the same page, we could see NASDAQ continue to trade up here, confirm bullish structure, and then if we were to come back down one more time, then we can see this thing rip to the upside. So I want to see if we come back down to here on NQ. If you look at what the 5-minute was here, our initial idea was correct. The fact that this cleared the lows, came back down, this lured in sellers one more time, and then the market ripped. So if anyone did take the NQ buys, nice, good stuff. Like I mentioned, had the motive, had the desire. Dow was kind of throwing off the, price action in general. And like I mentioned from the beginning, these are moving in opposite directions. So not entirely shocked on the fact that it did play out. Because we had so much imbalance to the downside here, there's definitely motive. Like there was reasoning for this to keep dropping. So I didn't feel the need to rush any trades. And I still think we could get one anyways. So next idea in line for me would be to buy NQ later on in the day here. It might take, honestly, we could be doing this in the next 15 minutes or something for all I know. So we'll see how this is playing out. As of now, we're looking like NQ is kind of still just trading up here. Let's see where we go. All right, let me check out the chat. Hope you sneeze today. We need a good trading date. Mike's a go. He'll just ask for your seed phrase. Maybe get some mod. I have some. The problem isn't that. The thing is, well, the mods can't check your DMs. You know what I mean? Was in that NQ buy. Nice, Jack. I was going to take S&P, but it made equal lows. All right, cool. Cool. Yeah, nice setup on there. Yeah, I deferred out of it, but either way, it was good. I know some of you probably still took it. Well done. At some point in the day, I think that these will probably end up getting back on the same page. I wonder if it's after Dow clears this low right here. See, we had that push down and then the rally. So we might just see, for example, Dow keep pushing lower, take this out here, and then rally. So something like this I could see happening, and that is what could push NASDAQ down one more time before it goes again. All right, so metals, we shall wait for buys here. So no rush on metals at all. Just have your alerts set. Now let's look at these. Let's look at the majors. Let's see what all these guys are doing. Similar price action. Everything just basically did the same thing on Friday. Friday, everything was just like, all right, up, go. And we had, Australian just rip to the upside, finally working its way up. There's this idea still from a couple weeks back, which is the short over here on Australian futures. The pound went crazy too. Everything against what the dollar did. So dollar had lost some strength, and then we saw it pump. But the difference right now is now we're seeing Australian just build up resistance up here. Like, it's holding the highs pretty well, while the pound actually lost a lot of steam this week and hasn't been as aggressive to work its way higher. So if you look at how Australian is playing out, it looks like it was dipping down, but this move to the downside, I'm not convinced this was this. Well, clearly this is not to be bearish. This right here, nah. This was to lure in more sellers, and then market rips just like that. So we may have some solid buying opportunities over here in the future. Especially right here. Honestly, I'm going to bring it down to here. If you notice, check this out. See the market dip down. Bounce from here, come up one more time, make the final move, and then off it goes. So I want to see bullish price action on Australian. We'll take a look at some other ones. That's not what I want to do right now. So if we can keep trading higher, then yeah, I'm with it. Probably see something like this. Yeah, something like that looks good. At least as of now for Aussie. Nas is pumping. Yeah, Nas moving along. Better nice. Yeah, something like this could work out. Now, pound is picking up as well, so it did make a similar drop during Thursday's move. Everything picked up, and then here again, starting to work its way up again. So here we saw it during London, little dip down, starting to rally, but not as aggressive as Australian. Let's take a look at Euro or Canadian futures working its way higher. And it just missed this zone on Friday. Might get a short finally here. And there's a few zones. So let me walk you through why I have a sell here on Canadian futures. This is coming back to Tuesday, August 19th. So we saw a sweep to the upside, clears liquidity, then just melts. So I could see a sell out of this, especially because we're building off liquidity right here. So we get short from this zone. This is where we were on the 19th. And if you want to compare this to other majors, we're already cleared this liquidity. So the market has already breached this before. If you look at the pound, the 19th already got there. If you look at the euro, it's already cleared that before. Tons of liquidity. If you look at, basically every other scenario, we're seeing very similar. Like CAD is the slowest one to work its way higher by far. other than like NZD, but there isn't even a setup there. So NZD very much chilling. So CAD futures here. I'm gonna actually just give you guys one chart. And interestingly enough, what do we have going on for CAD tomorrow? We have a little high impact news. So this might be what triggers this setup for CAD. It might happen before then. We're not too far away, so we could definitely get up there before then. But there's two setups, right? I have this one, and then we had from Monday where it cleared these highs and dropped. So two zones where it can sell from. If we get up to here, my mitigation rule, and if you don't have a trading system, if you don't know when you should go to break even, when you're doing anything, then build the data. Go ahead and do that. If you want to have more feedback on how to do that, then if you want like to basically have everything walk through with you and make sure you have a bulletproof system and be ready to really take this on, then apply for the syndicate. If you really want hands-on work and you try to do it in the same bullshit, just trust me, it is worth it. Syndicate members here in the chat, they'll let you know. We'll get you right. If that's you, scan this code on the right. Just here on the right, see if it's for you. Book the call, short call, and then figure out if it makes sense for you or not. But yeah, CAD futures, I'm going to leave that on the screen while I'm just copying over the CAD futures chart to our post here with where we had our silver and gold ideas. That way you guys can just refer to that. So 6C, there you go. 2 sell zones. Okay, that's been saved. So yeah, scan that. We'll get you right. And if you're not in our free community, scan the one on the left. All right, so I just updated the post here. So now we have gold and silver, CAD as well. Giving you guys some updates on metals here, or on indices here. Haven't quite taken out this low on Dow, which I think is possible. And the Nasdaq on on the other side of things, it's been bullish now for 15 minutes up here. So I think this is in my opinion strong confirmations that we can have buy scenarios later on. So I'm gonna actually add this to our ideas as well. And I'm more so looking to take a position basically from here and below, from 23.480 or lower. Seen support here, so anywhere in here. This looks good. So let me draw this out. Obviously, it'll be your choice, kind of where in the zone. This is kind of like anywhere really in there. Here we've had key levels of support. So like this is kind of the area of interest for me. Here we have liquidity. So, all right. Nasdaq is the play right there. This is the one that more than likely happens today. Q mitigation. Okay. All right. Outside of CAD futures, Euro, meh. clear out these highs here on the higher time frame. So looks like possible distribution on euro. Yen takes out the highs, loses that momentum as well. And as quickly as we go higher, we come back down. I don't love the equal highs here, though. All right, so that's metals. We've already talked about metals. Not taking any. I'm not taking anything right now. That brings us towards oil. Oil here. Just tapped into the zone on a Wednesday. I wanted a lower entry. Didn't get the lower entry. Just came right below this and then just ripped. Okay. So I do think there's another oil setup down here, way down here. Might take a minute though. It might be a minute till we get anything there. And then outside of this setup, there was a huge push to the upside here. So this one I haven't marked up, and I don't remember if this. I think this already mitigated, if I'm not mistaken. So let's go over here real quick. Let's go check this out. So basically, this is the idea. We have resistance over here, a lot of sideways movement, all on this, and then we had the market take out the high, so we get a big move to the upside here. All right, so the market from here rips to the upside, aggressive move up. Comes crashing down, starts to move sideways slowly but surely. It just taps into this zone here. And then we see the market start to drop off, come back up again, drop off again. Something about this kind of like it doesn't drop super aggressive, but I could see the market still play out of here though. So yes, we did tap this and then just drop. So could this be mitigated? Yes. Could it play out of an order block still though? Yes. Because here, so this is, I guess I should have done this first, but all right, let me come back to this. Here we see the breakout, the market comes back in, and then here's the retest. So it comes up, bounces for a minute, melts again. And we have a lot of imbalance there. Took out a lot of liquidity there. So I wouldn't be surprised if the market shorts out of here still. When the market plays out of the open like this, like we see here, like this, in my opinion, has already been, it looks like it's been mitigated. But when it plays out of the open, it just taps and drops. A lot of times you see the imbalance and the order block give another rejection anyways. So I'm open to it. I wouldn't have my full risk on this trade, but I think I am going to be down to take at least like half, because we still do have quite a bit of an imbalance and an order block, and we can get a decent rejection from. So I'd be willing to still take a little light short. Okay, now NQ-wise over here, starting to see the market pull back a little bit. So we worked our way up, Starting to see a little pullback. Looks like Dow is getting closer to taking out these lows. That could position NQ back over here. So stay tuned on NASDAQ for sure. And let me share this with oil. All right. So if you want to basically have an insight on some things that I'm waiting for, just refer to this one. All right. Got a little more for y'all. Don't sweat it. Peso. Been waiting for this one. Do we finally get the short? So we're about to take out the high of the week after the week opened here. Open, gap down. Market, decided to push up again. So we're getting pretty close to selling peso over here. And then profits, honestly, I think you have a very high probability wise. Would be to just take your profits within this range. Could it go lower into here? Yes. We have, I'd say, borderline liquidity down here too. But you can still get a solid 2.5R just out of here. High probability exit. And then if the market stays down here, then there's probably you could probably see a second setup anyways. So depending on how it goes, here's high probability exits. If you want to get more aggressive and you think big picture it should keep dropping, then be my guest. 6M Mexican peso. I'll put this one up here since I do think this one could happen today. All right, let me unpin this here. What's up, Alessandra, Gabriel, Seth, Jan, John, Edgar, Juan, DeAndre, what's up, man? Mexican peso set up there. Okay, I can see it, yeah. Lonzo, what's good, bro? Good to have you on. Yeah, this is good. Nice. Good CHF yen. Cool. All right, guys. We'll wrap up there. Only thing I haven't looked at were stocks. The big update really with stocks was Intel. Intel with the U.S. government getting I think 10 billion worth of Intel or something like that. So yeah, pretty nice. Receiving 8.9 billion investment from the U.S. government, funded by the CHIPS Act grant and National Security Award. So now the U.S. government is tied in with Intel. So if you bought with this, probably a good chance this is going to keep doing some good work. All right. Other than that, guys, keep crushing it. Going to leave a couple things on screen here for y'all, and I will be back at it. Stay tuned in the community so we can update anything that's going on. And then make sure you like and subscribe if you learned something today, or if you made some money, on your own, just with the setup models that we have here. So thank you guys. Stay tuned. Peace.